Hi and welcome to my channel. So I quit my UK job after just working 3 shifts. And when I say 3 shifts, I don't mean 3 weeks, I don't mean 3 months, I don't mean 3 years. I mean, I went to job on day one, went to the job on day two, day three. I was like, I'm so done. And that's why I'm going to tell you in today's video what this job was, what happens, and what you should learn from it. And guess what? You need to know that all UK jobs are not the same. There are some jobs in this country that are going to suck life out of you, and you're going to sit every day lamenting, crying, and asking yourself why you got into this country or this job in the first place. And look, I'm the first person to say it's good to get started from anywhere, but there are some jobs that are just like a big no. So if you're new to my channel, you're welcome. And if you haven't joined this family, hit the subscribe button below because you want to be the first person that is notified every single day when I drop a new video on here. I'm somebody that I'm very passionate about opportunities to relocate to the UK without spending thousands of pounds, without getting bankrupt, without spending millions, and ending up in some of these jobs. I'm going to share like my experience. And look, thousands of other people in this country are currently going through the same experience that I had. So you need to learn from this. I'm also very passionate about career progression in the UK. And I think because of the experiences that I've had, that's what really pushed me a lot in my career progression. And that's why I was able to leave from a carer, to now being an advanced nurse practitioner, which is the most senior clinical nursing job in the profession. So I'm going to tell you all of that in today's video. And by the way, where are you joining this from? In which country are you at the moment? Drop that in the comment section below because I like to know, are you already in the UK planning to relocate to this beautiful, amazing country? Or are you already in the UK looking for opportunities to progress in your career? Because that's what I'm all about. And by the way, I do have a free newsletter in the comment section below. It's free to join. You drop your name and email address and you're part of it. I send those job opportunities, visa sponsorship opportunities, updates, work from home jobs directly to your inbox so you're not reliant on the YouTube algorithm. It's also got my contact details, my email address, my WhatsApp number, so that if you need to talk to me one-to-one about your specific circumstances, you require support, guidance, advice with the application process, interview preparation, how can you switch to the NHS, how can you, get a job that is just going to be more befitting of your status, your values, and the pay that you deserve, or progressing to nursing, studying nursing without paying tuition fees, social work, midwifery. I can support you with all of that. So just check the comments in the comment section below and you're free to join that and contact me obviously after watching this video, because whether you're in the UK now or out, you need to watch this till the end because it is a learning curve. It is an absolute learning curve. So what job am I talking about and what exactly happens? By the way, let's do a little quiz. Which job in the UK is the most challenging, the most difficult job? If you're already in this country, I'm sure you have an idea what I'm talking about. Which job is the most difficult job to have in the UK at this point in time? If you've not done this job, let me tell you something. You're lucky if you're in the UK and you've not done this job, because those of us who have, like, you're gonna sit every day asking yourself, like, oh my god, is this why I came to this country? Oh my god, is that why I'm here? But I empathize with those of you that are still in this position because it is not easy. And I'm talking about the good old domiciliary care. So if you wrote domiciliary care in the comment section below, then yes, you were right. But if you didn't, just write a comment in the comment section below and say domiciliary care, because this job is something else. I remember when I went the first day, and they gave me a list of people to see, and I didn't know where they were living, the addresses or anything. So I just thought, okay, this is gonna be amazing, like surely it's not gonna be that hard. And I think the first day I had like 7 clients to see. So I went to the first person's house. First of all, my first client was like 7 a.m., a 7 a.m. call, and it was supposed to be like a double call. I had to leave home because I wasn't even driving at the time, which made it a lot worse. I had to leave home like just before 6 o'clock so I could get to this client's house by 7. And the call was only for like an hour. After 1 hour, I then had to find transportation to the next client's house. And let me tell you something, this was a rural area. It was a massive struggle. I literally cried the whole of that day. How I even went on day 2 and even attempted going on day 3, I don't know. But the truth is, domiciliary care is very, very challenging. The good thing about it is that it gives you exposure, it gives you amazing experience. It makes you to be really good with managing your own time, managing emergencies, because there's a lot of lone working. But I tell you, it's gonna test your patience. I'm currently like supporting people who have been in domiciliary care for 2 years, 3 years, and I admire the persistence to do this, because it is not easy. I only did it 3 days, in fact 2.5 days, and it was tough. If you're watching this, have you got any experience, working in healthcare? What's the healthcare job that you do? Or what's your ideal job? Where would you like to be? Leave that in the comment section below, because these experiences are powerful. They make the people that we will become in the future, but they're very challenging. And that's why, despite the fact that I now work as an advanced nurse practitioner, and I know it can be, people are like, hey, that's amazing, you've done so well. But let me tell you something, it's been a journey. I relocated to the UK 13 years ago, and that's when I had these experiences and all of that. And in that time, obviously, I've studied a lot. I've got 2 masters, I've got a first class degree in adult nursing before now, qualifying as an advanced nurse practitioner. So it's not been a quick fix. It's taken me 13 years to do all of that. And so sometimes we like to look at the end product or the end result, but it's very important to talk about those humble and early beginnings, because, like I say, thousands of people are currently going through this process like I was. And that's why, by the way, if you're not aware, I do have a private career coaching program where I offer one-to-one guidance with, switching from domiciliary care to care homes, ideally NHS, upgrading yourself. You're already in the NHS. How can you progress in your career so that you can get to the top of the banding, the top of the pyramid, the top of the ladder, however you want to call it, so that you can eventually work less? Let me tell you, when you're progressing in your career, you're going to work less. Because a lot of what you do is delegation. They need your knowledge, they need your brain, they need your intelligence, not your physical, not your hands. It's your brain that you're using, and there's nothing better than using your brain instead of your hands. But life is all about stages. Like I always say, it's about starting from somewhere and then building to where you ought to be, so that you can work less, like I said, earn a lot of money and retire early. And by the way, if you're not aware, I do have a YouTube channel where I share information exclusively about work from home jobs, how to earn extra income, and side hustle ideas. That channel is only about that. It's called Nurse Melvis Money Diary. So I'm going to drop a link also in the comment section, so that if you're somebody who, I don't want to say if you're somebody, all of you, if you're watching this video now, you should rush and subscribe to that channel and check out the info there, because everything there is about making more money, living that soft girl life and being able to just realize your own dreams. Yes, that's what it's about. So I'll leave that in the comment section below. But my coaching program is about offering support with all of that. If you check the description box below or the about section on this channel, you're going to see more information about it, and then you can check it out. But if you want to talk to me about Melvis, how can you support me with this? I'm also in the similar position. I'm in dom care. I'm sick and tired of it. I need to upgrade. I appreciate the experience, but I've done my own time in this. Then you can contact me. You're looking for opportunities to upgrade from a nursing home as well to NHS, because NHS is my all-time favorite. I'm open about it. I talk about it every day. I get invited by NHS organizations to give keynote speeches to their staff when they have induction days, to the nurses, carers and qualified nurses and new starters, new recruits, about career progression prospects. That's because I live and breathe career progression. I love anything about career progression, interviews, jobs, nursing, healthcare, NHS UK. I'm your girl. I'm a geek when it comes to that, even though I say so myself. I'm the self-proclaimed queen, self-proclaimed, of course, yeah. So that's why I like to talk about this, and I can go on all day. So, by the way, what job are you ideally interested in at this point in time? Drop that in the comment section below, and I'm happy to obviously shed more light on it, so that I can just give you the step-by-step guide to help you achieve that in the shortest time possible. Because when it comes to career progression, we talk years, but if you can shorten the years, why not? If you can achieve your goal in 5 years, why not do it in 2 years if it's possible? That's what I mean. So with this domiciliary care job, the time was a massive factor. Also, spending. One of the reasons I quit was because I realized that I was going to spend more money doing the job than I would earn, which means on the first day that I went, because traveling from one house to another in the rural area, public transport was really poor. It was difficult to meet up with the time. So I ended up needing to use taxis to take me from one house to another. And what I realized at the end of the day was that I spent more money than I was being paid. I mean, if you're spending more money to do a job, what's the point? It's not really worthwhile. So on day one, I actually spent more than my hourly pay. On day two, I decided to leave home even earlier so that I can try and save on taxes and costs, but it just didn't work. And I thought, look, if I carry on with this, it's just not going to work out. And that's why I eventually decided to quit. So one of the things here also is career progression. Remember that at this point where I was doing this job, I was a carer, I could also very quickly see that remaining in this job was not going to really lead me into any progression. And let me tell you something, 1 day, 2 days, that was enough for me to gain the exposure that I needed to understand the challenges and the advantages, obviously, that comes with this job. And that was why I just thought, no, 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 I gotta quit. So, career progression as well. If you're in domiciliary care, I tell you, even if you're there for 10 years, 20 years, the highest thing you can become is a team leader if you're lucky, and the pay difference for some companies is like £1 per hour. And the responsibility you're gonna have, if somebody's not coming to work, you're gonna have to go to work. You're gonna be taking all the phone. It's a lot of work for very little pay. So career progression is almost non-existent in this sector. What about visa sponsorship? When it comes to visa sponsorship, lots of companies that have domiciliary care or that recruit domiciliary carers are reliant on overseas workers, because for the reasons that I've explained, many people in the UK don't want to do these jobs, because why would you spend more to do a job than you're going to get paid for? It really doesn't make sense. And the truth is, the companies charge a lot of money for the clients, but they pay the carers very little. So it's a very lucrative sector if you want to get in as an investor, as an entrepreneur, as a business person. I deal with loads of nurses, carers, people that are in the sector. They make a lot of money, loads and loads of money. But as a carer, from a carer perspective, no. And that's why personally, many people say to me, Melvis, oh, why don't you just start a domiciliary care company? I'm like, no, that's not for me. I wouldn't put anybody through that, because the experience that I had in 3 days, no, I would not put even my worst enemy in that position. I understand that somebody needs to do the job, but what I mean is, after a certain period of time, give yourself the grace to be able to upgrade ASAP, because it's not a sustainable thing. It's not a long-term job that you can do and really be like, I love this, I'm enjoying it, because it's very draining, you know, and all of that. So, by the way, do share this with your friends, loved ones, colleagues, and just encourage them that there are other opportunities. Like I say, it's about starting point. Everybody needs to start from somewhere, but it's just not something that I could see myself doing for a long time. And I know that other people in the UK that are in my same position where I was a few years ago, nobody's loving it. It is a very tough job. The only people who are loving it are the companies that obviously own the contracts, because like I say, it's a very lucrative business and you can make a lot of money in a very short period of time, especially if you're able to get more and more clients. One of the things also that I didn't like about the job was that they only paid me for the time that I was spending in the person's house. So all of that travel time isn't paid for, which means if you are allocated 1 hour with a client and or 15 minutes with another client, if it's going to take you 1 hour to move from A to B, from client A to client B's house, nobody's going to pay you for that. And it was just like, so at the end of the day, I think the first day, I started work like 6 o'clock because I left home at 6, and my last call was like 5 or 6 o'clock p.m. But I was paid for like 4 hours. And it's like, really, I've spent the whole day, just 4 hours. And this is what really prompted me at the time to start looking for something more, how do I call it? Something more tangible. And that's what I found out about the NHS. And when I did then, I was like, goodness me, it was the best thing that I discovered. So when I then got to the NHS, I have then worked in the NHS for 12 years. 12 years after discovering that, that was the best thing ever. When I transitioned, NHS, you're working 7 till 7 or 8 till 8. They pay you 12 hours for one shift. Domiciliary care, for you to do 12 hours, you need to work every day for like a whole week. It's very, very I don't know, very challenging. And I'm sharing this as not to say it's not worth it, because I did learn a lot from it, but it was just to say, you need to think twice when you're applying for some of these jobs, because I didn't know what to expect. When I applied for this domiciliary care job, I had no idea, nothing. Nobody had told me anything. I just saw a job advert and I applied, got successful, and I got started with the job. I had no expectations, nothing. I only found out after I actually started working. So if you're watching this and you've got the opportunity to find out about this job, then please do make sure that you're looking for other opportunities, or you're applying for other jobs while doing this in the meantime, because like I say, you need the experience. The exposure is very good. It taught me a lot, and that's why I have a lot of empathy even now for domiciliary carers, because it's something I've done and I understand the challenges that it brings. Because from there I went to support work. So I was working in people's houses, supporting them in their own homes, but it was support work. So with support work, I would be like one day. In fact, there was I had one client that used to be there for like 3 days continuously. So with support work is very, very different. And then eventually I got to the NHS. So and once I got to the NHS, that's it. I just like stayed there because it was just like a dream come true. It was amazing. I was like, oh, I was earning so much money. I was doing like I didn't want to get started, but it's a massive difference when you leave from domiciliary care or from a care home to the NHS. And by the way, if you want me to do a video talking about how to transition quickly, fast and easily from domiciliary care or care home to the NHS, please drop a comment section in the comments, drop a comment in the comment section below and just say move to the NHS. When I see the comment saying move to the NHS, I know that you want me to do that video, and I'll do a detailed step-by-step guide on what you need to do, the NHS jobs that you can apply for, the companies that are recruiting for this, how to go about it, and just all of that. So just drop move to the NHS in the comment section below. If you haven't hit the like button, by the way, if you're enjoying this content, just hit the like button, and it lets me know that obviously I should do more videos like this because it's helpful for you. Why not? And one other reason why I also quit this job was the animals. Oh my god, I had two clients, that had like dogs and cats and all of that. Look, I am not really an animal person. I'm not used to animals. I've never lived in a house really, with animals. And so it was very, very difficult because as you walk in the door, they were like barking, they were jumping on you, the cats were like, hey, hey, hey. No, I was just like, I'm not going to do this. So for me, that was a massive turn off. That was a big challenge. I was dreading it. And like, no. So these are some of the things you need to think about. Like, there was a lot, but let me just leave it, that way. I have shared lots of information here about different opportunities in the UK to upgrade into that offer visa sponsorship courses, how to become a nurse for free, midwife, social worker, doctor. There's a lot you can do. Clinical, non-clinical healthcare jobs, experience, no experience, out, no out, dependence, no dependence. There are all sorts of opportunities. So if you need to contact me, check the comment section. You see my WhatsApp number. Contact me at your earliest convenience. Share this with your loved ones. Encourage them that there are other opportunities, and check out this right here.